Hey guys, Matt here with a HUNDEGNI video analysis. Today we're going to go ahead and go over HUNDEGNI 3.1. This video was uploaded on December 31st of 2017. Obviously that's correlating to the new year. And this video, we'll go ahead and play it from the start, and I'll go ahead and go over what we found. There isn't too much hidden as far as we can tell, but there are some little things that should be pointed out. So I'll go ahead and start playing. Now already, if this looks familiar, it probably should. This is likely the exact same hallway that you saw in HUNDEGNI 2.7, where this person who was shrouded in red was in a rather light hallway, and there I don't believe was nearly as much smoke. And now in this video it appears to be far darker, even though the lights still are on above. Most of the light is actually from the person himself. This red light that we always see surrounding this character, I guess you could say. That's really the only thing that's lighting up the room at all, but you still see some of those doors that were there from before. Goes ahead and it fades into this door, which we've seen a couple times in the 2.7 video. Obviously you could see it on one of the sides of the wall. I believe it was the right side of the wall, and you could also see it in the 2.8 video at the very end. Very difficult to tell because that was such a dark video, but it was at the very end of that hellish hallway that was just composed of rocks and stuff like that. But now we're getting a really good look at it for the first time. The monarch butterfly door. And it's what happens afterwards that's kind of more interesting with this. And those black dots that you keep seeing rising from bottom to the top of the screen, we've been talking a lot about what we think those could mean, if it's like a code or if it's supposed to signify fog. We're really not sure. There's a lot of different theories on those, and this video really doesn't shed any light on that at all. I just figured I'd point it out since you do see them there. So you begin to hear like a bell tower sounding in the background, and as well as rain, which you heard from the very start of the video, and the door slowly just kind of fades away and it becomes this really just intensely bright light. And at first, it just kind of held on this, and I didn't think there was anything special about it. But we actually had some guys that were interested in the investigation take a look at it, put it through a filter, and if you look at this door through a filter, you can actually see that there is something flying, or rather flapping its wings, around inside of that door, and it is a butterfly. I'll play this a bit longer. You can see it if you look at your screen in the right way, but I do have some images that I'll show that'll make it a bit more clear. So the bell basically, it sounds off twice, indicating 2 o'clock. I think that has like a direct correlation with that being the subject to sign that we always saw in the other videos. I'm wondering if perhaps now that we are on the 3.x series, if that means that we're going to start seeing like a subject 3 sign, or if there's going to be indications of the number 3. I really don't know where they're going to go with that, and I have some theories that I might put in a future video. But overall, that is what the bell, I think, is trying to indicate, is the passage from 2 o'clock maybe into 3 o'clock. It's kind of tough to say for certain. But if you can't see that butterfly, I do have a couple of images here that might shed some light on it. Here is the first one. It's a time lapse of the butterfly. Basically, it starts around here. It goes in a pretty decent circle, crosses around, and then goes upwards before kind of taking a straight line and then fading out around this area right here. And if you need that visualized in like a line form, I went ahead and traced that out here. And interestingly, some guys did point out that it is kind of similar to the lowercase delta symbol, which I went ahead and put over here. Obviously, there is like a bit of a difference in both of these designs, but it is something I think that is worth pointing out because delta can roughly translate just to meaning change. So this video could be indicating that there is going to be a pretty big change from the 2.x series to the 3.x. One thing I did note is that like the 1.x series and the 2.x series were very different. 1.x was a lot of photos, it was a lot of sounds. This did have stuff like that. 2.x did have things like that, but it also included a lot of new stuff, like all these graphics that you see in like the game engine and just like some more movement based stuff. So I'm wondering what 3.x is going to have to offer. I think it's going to be something really different and something really new. And so the delta symbol could be representing that. Either that or it could just be the butterfly just flying naturally and we are just looking into things too hard. It's hard to tell really, but we were definitely supposed to notice the butterfly. And so I'm glad that we caught that before I made this video. But for the most part, we think that is all for HUNDEGNI 3.1. There isn't anything crazy hidden here as far as we can tell so far, but we have been working on some theories for the 1.x series, which I'll be detailing in a future video. We actually have a lot of new codes that we've figured out, and also in the links I'm going to put below in the description, we have a Discord channel where we're all kind of just talking and just spreading some theories, and it's really well organized. And so if you are at all interested in this investigation whatsoever, I would highly recommend just joining that and just kind of giving us your thoughts or maybe some opinions. Pretty much we'll listen to anything, because at this point anything really does seem to be possible with this series. So thanks for watching, guys. Matt out.